Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition with a little bit of security thrown in on the side. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you'd like to catch the show there. So let's go ahead and just dive right on in so we can get to the good stuff near the end. So first we have the Xbox Series X. Apparently even offline discs that you just have the disc, you just play it offline, they still have to check home in order to play. Yeah, isn't that interesting? So one-time connection required for configuration on Xbox One and smart delivery discs. So if you boot some of these guys up, game isn't ready yet. Go online to finish installing it. So gone are the days where you can go to whatever CD store, pick up your game, and then just bring it home and play it. Like, you know, I haven't connected my Xbox to the internet at all for, I don't know, 6-7 years. We got out, occasionally buy some used game at GameStop or something, bring it on in, put it in there, and hey, it works perfectly fine. No big deal, you know. But now these are getting so bad where you have to go online, even on a game that you're just running a disc, and it's got to go online and grab files. Uh-oh, here's an update. Whoa, connection charges may apply. 5.4 gigs. This is one of the challenges, guys. A device I have I'll be reviewing soon on the channel. I actually have a cellular backup system, and even those, the best internet you can get is going to be capped at like 30 gig right now, which is decent if you're not doing a whole lot of, you know, HD or 4K streaming or downloading Xbox games. But for basic tasks, light streaming, things like that, 30 gig, you can go pretty far on that. And this is a really nice device that's giving me very high speed broadband in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you, it's a really nice device I'll be reviewing here soon. And so, yeah, you can buy games in stores, but you have to plug them into the internet in order to do this. And this means that they're collecting data, they're logging things. Ooh, they know who you are. All sorts of stuff. And it's garbage. It's garbage. This is why I think right now, as far as the internet is concerned, is the worst time in history to be alive. You young people, you guys do not know how wonderful it was. I mean, first and foremost, how wonderful it was in the 90s and early 2000s when you didn't rely on the internet because it just wasn't fast enough to, and people still had brain cells rubbing together. And things just got progressively worse and worse and worse, and now everything's just perpetually online. It's kind of crazy. Well, Clearview, we already talked about it, was hit with several bans and lawsuits and things like that and fines here in the United States. Well, now in EU, privacy watchdogs believe Clearview's image scraping methods violate European laws. So right now they are coming through and looking at that. And complaints filed in France, Austria, Greece, Italy, and United Kingdom say the company's method of documenting and collecting data, including images of faces that automatically extracts from public websites, violates European privacy laws. New York-based Clearview claims they built the largest known database, 3+ billion facial images. And by the way, yeah, where in the world, guys, is Anonymous? Can Anonymous go take these guys down? I mean, really? But anyway, I'm kidding. So now they're looking into it, and you know, when EU privacy laws start getting involved, things kind of get crazy. So with that, you know, hopefully something else comes into effect, and the people behind Clearview are like, okay, maybe that was a bad idea. They're already barred from using their stuff in some places in the United States as well already because of this, and hopefully it gets better and better. Over in UK, this deals with the Snowden revelations, the UK mass surveillance regimen. Yeah, that was actually ruled illegal over in UK now. So now it is actually illegal here, illegal over there. Why is Snowden still in exile in Russia? He very clearly demonstrated that the government was breaking the law. It was absolutely ruled breaking the law now on 2 continents. Can we just bring the hero home now, people? But the human rights, I first saw this like, oh man, is this related to all those security cameras? No, it doesn't have anything to do with the security cameras. It just has to do with all the Snowden type stuff. So basically, United States Constitution says the government can't spy on people, but hey, M8 can, and then the United States will spy on the British citizens, and then hey, we'll just trade data. And that's kind of what they were doing. So the Grand Chamber of European Court of Human Rights has today issued a landmark ruling that the UK's mass surveillance regimen violates people's rights to privacy and freedom of expression. The regimen was first exposed by Edward Snowden, and it will have an impact not only on UK, but across Europe as well. This is the Five Eyes, the 13 Eyes. They're all involved in this, which is several EU countries and then United States. And, of course, you get China. They're just even worse than all this. But hey, we can hope, right? Well, speaking of China, the AI emotion detection software is tested, and I still don't know how to pronounce this one. Is it Uyghurs, I think? This is a particular population in China which is predominantly Muslim. And for all the people saying there's racism and hate in America, y'all got nothing on China. They harvest these people for their organs, guys. I know CNN's not telling you that, so you think that's a conspiracy theory, but it's actually happening. And if you think that we're bad, China is actually deploying a lot of these weird technologies on their Muslim-specific populations. I'm no specific friend of the Muslim faith, but hey, I do believe that everyone can have their own religion. Enjoy yourself. You don't try and kill me in jihad, and I won't try and kill you in a crusade. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But with all that stuff being said there, this camera uses AI and facial recognition intended to reveal the states of emotion has been tested on this Muslim population in Zhejiang. Now, we covered a little bit about this when we were theoretically going on, but there's a lot more detail about this. Basically, they want to monitor all of these people and prevent them from, doing anything that China thinks they shouldn't be doing, like, existing and practicing their faith because they're not worshiping Emperor Mao, or is it Emperor Winnie the Pooh at this point in time? I don't really know. But anyway, they are testing this AI, artificial intelligence, emotion detection system on specific populations over in China. So there we have it, guys. That is exciting. Now on to our final story in privacy before we move on to security. Google is now using patient data to develop healthcare algorithms for hospital chains. We all know how wonderful, perfect, and beautiful algorithms actually are, and how algorithms are the savior of the world. Now they want to apply them to health. And your health data might be out there, and hey, the law allows the hospitals, without your consent, to just give their data to Google. I will remind you again, Google now also owns Fitbit. So they have a lot of real-time health data tied to real-time people in real-time accounts in real-time daily usage. Google has been working with multiple healthcare chains. They have been working with multiple health insurance companies. Their parent company, Alphabet, is even working on developing a health insurance company themselves. This is too much data for one company to have. Now they're trying to use AI. Oh, but it's all anonymized. Yeah, but the AI is going to be used to flag you for something without any real evidence at this point in time, all on Google's whim. I will remind you guys again, go and watch The Selfish Ledger. Type it on in YouTube, somewhere else, wherever you can find stuff. Go watch The Selfish Ledger. You will see the long-term game plan of Alphabet, and it is terrifying. This is an internal Google document that was leaked out. So in this case here, this is HCA operates 181 hospital, 2,000 healthcare sites in 21 states. So the company is working to develop healthcare algorithms. Okay? If I get into an accident, guys, you run into me in your car, just let me bleed out on the side of the road. I'd rather go home with Jesus than go into Google's data collection firm, all right? Just a thought. So with that, Google will store the anonymized. Oh, it's so anonymized. Yeah, I promise you, you can go back and figure out who the people are. Especially a company like Google. They'll store anonymized data from patient health records and internet-connected medical devices. Yay! All we need. I'm telling you guys, can we stop putting everything on the internet? Putting everything on the internet is a bad idea. Stop putting everything on the internet. I don't need my pacemaker on the internet. I don't need my diabetic machine on the internet. I don't need my breathing apparatus on the internet. If you think I'm not using it, then you can drop me as a patient. For crying out loud, stop putting everything on the internet. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, this is getting insane. And so now Google is coming out, collecting all this data that's theoretically anonymized, and then using it for algorithms. And we all know how wonderful Google algorithms are. You want to talk about what's radicalizing? You want to talk about what's destroying the society? It is algorithms. Once algorithms hit any social media, it immediately becomes garbage. Hands down. Algorithms hit healthcare? Well, I mean, healthcare's already in the garbage, but I mean, we'll just drive it there faster. We're going to dig it, bury it deep. So there's a thought. Are you guys interested? And what could we possibly do to make sure that this type of data does not get out into medical hands? Maybe we all need to have an outrage here with our local congressional people so that they can go in and propose laws to prevent this crap from happening. Well, with that, you can help support the channel on my affiliates. Today, we are highlighting Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile will allow you to get very good phone plans for as little as $15 a month. So tlm.li/mm. So I switched from Verizon over to Mint Mobile about a year and a half ago now. And right now I have paid for my entire year of phone service. I don't have to pay anything else at all for my phone service. I think until next March 2022, I paid $170, and I will not have to think about my phone again until next March. So that is good, and it works everywhere. My old phone worked. A couple little places out since they do use T-Mobile. If T-Mobile's not going to work, then they won't. But they do have a new unlimited plan, which is $30 a month. I don't use a ton of data, so I just use the 4 gig plan a month, which works for me. And I have been testing out the, I was talking about a good cellular internet system that is back on the Verizon systems. I can tell you the Verizon systems, they are way more expensive for the same type of stuff. Sadly, I just can't use this on the cellular modems and stuff. But for any of your phone needs, this here, absolutely Mint Mobile, tlm.li/mm. So now let's head on over to security news. First up in security, there are some macOS 0 days. These ones here were letting hackers take screenshots of infected Macs. There were a series of different 0 days, 3 of them coming down in sequence. Although these are very, very low risk for the average Apple user, if you're using a Mac, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just because basically to get these, you had to be working with several of the developer tools. But if you are a developer on a Mac and you're using Xcode project and things, let's see, I forget the exact name of what we're using here. If Xcode was either the name of the software or the name of the malware, I forget. But if you're using some of the developer tools and installed developer applications, your Mac would be at a higher risk. Most of these have been patched, so getting some updates. And I know a friend of mine works with some government contracts and stuff with Apple devices, and he said they did receive a government advisory about a month ago to update. And I think that fixed most of these guys here. There is a big vulnerability in VMware with a severity rating of 9.8 out of 10. The reason this is such a big deal is because, well, the average user may not use VMware a lot. A lot of servers that run the internet do use VMware. And so this is a pretty serious one. So if you're running any such cloud servers, make sure you're updating. But for the most part, just make sure that whatever your hosting provider is, if you have websites, make sure that they are updating their VMware software as well. Although there's not very little you could do about it. Nevertheless, it is considered pretty serious. Let's see. Snowden service catalog, sites available on the internet shows there are almost 5,000 public-facing vCenter machines. Most or all reside in large data centers, potentially hosting terabytes of sensitive data. Snowden shows the top users with vCenter servers exposed on the internet are Amazon, Hetzner, Online GmbH, OVH, well, before it burnt down, I guess, and Google. So all of those are utilizing this and would possibly at risk. Hopefully these companies will recognize the need to upgrade and update these. It's just something to keep in mind on, particularly if you're running VMware yourself. And on to our final security. After the whole pipeline debacle, the government, who is very, very well known at being able to competently handle things, they have decided that they need to get involved in pipeline security and regulation. Yes, the group that still thinks that you should change your password every 3 months, use SMS phone number to secure your accounts, and have other multiple outdated systems, they all seem to agree. I mean, half their stuff still runs on Internet Explorer, by the way. Like, I have clients that have government contracts. They have to make sure their websites work with Internet Explorer because of the government contracts. They want to help with support. Why? Well, we don't need what happened to Colonial. Well, yeah, what happened to Colonial Pipeline is certainly bad, but the fact of the matter is the private sector is way more competent at handling this kind of stuff than the government is. The government can't even find its butt with two hands, and we want them to secure infrastructure. And then they're wanting to put everything in the clouds and everything on the internet. Whoa, this is good. We have good security. We change our password every 3 months. Yeah, it was government password 1. Oh, got to change. Government password 2. Change password again. I don't have time for this. Government password 3. And this is what happens. So, yeah, the government is here. They're here and they're here to help. And this is going to cause a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So, yeah, guys, we don't need the government over here trying to help, but they want to get involved in helping to secure the pipeline so that nothing like happened at Colonial Pipeline happens again. Here's a thought, though. I just have a sneaky suspicion that might actually help. Have redundant systems in place, like, oh, I don't know, an alternative pipeline. Oh, well, they closed that one down. Oh, well. They closed down the other one going through, no, who was, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. This supports Linux, Christian, and writing stuff that we do. So you can jump on over there if you want to help support the site. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.